Дэвид Ли Руф — это чистая сила. Вы можете ее почувствовать. Столько силы. Приходите и слушайте. Radio Roth, 6 a.m.
Roth Show. Roth Show.
Du hör på David Lee Roth. Roth Radio på begynnelsen av morgenen. Chockerende stødig.
I get to work. First thing I ask Tom, podcast Tom, who's driving over here, Tom, can you put a little music in my headsets? And Tom replies,
absolutely.
At what point did we start using the word absolutely? Nothing in my life is absolute. Is anything in your life absolute?
I can't think of anything in my life that's
okay,
absolute.
I'm 70 going on 94. It's dog years in showbiz. How old are you, Tom?
I am 43 years old.
Jesus Christ, you don't look a day over 42. Has anything in your life ever been absolute? I mean, family, friends, work, the arts, entertainment, anything at all?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that's ever been absolute.
Okay, not even family is absolute because people change. You've seen there's a movie called Celebrity by Woody Allen. And it indicates what happens to people when you become a celeb of any kind, whether that's the singer on American Idol or the singer in the Rolling Stones or a small-time actor or somebody big. Everything changes. And at some point, everybody started to use the word absolutely. I hear it 37 times in any given interview from somebody, right? You hear it from onlookers and everything. So what happened? The guy got shot, huh? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Why do we use that word?
I think it's just become a word just in common speech that people use all the time.
Yeah, but why do we use it all the time? Dig.
I don't know.
Okay, I know. It's because it gives you a sense of proprietary power. You own it. You understand it so completely that you can use the word absolutely. I've never heard a doctor say anything mounting, if he's being legitimate, to the word absolutely. Do I have 3 weeks to live, doc? He's not going to tell you absolutely, even if you're the fittest of the fit. Because maybe there's something. Nothing in my life is absolute. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction to show power. That's what I think. Adult male rabbits in the jungle or the desert will run up to the carcass of a dead mountain lion and yank on his whiskers, showing off for the females, okay? I'm 70 going on 94. You haven't seen my x-rays. I can admit to you, there is nothing absolute.
You've seen it on a billboard, and I believe it so. It said the only thing you know for certain is that you never know. You just never know. No man now. My friend Jerry's feet are aching, thinks he's hitting bottom. Says it's a sex problem, he told me so. I They say you only live twice. I say, hey, you never know. And the hula girls go, you never know. You never know. You never say you never. You never know. I make suggestions, honey. You make the choices. Your Kodak moment's coming. I keep the motor running. I stand corrected, maybe. I'm hearing voices, honey. You got my engines humming, and now I'm really running right up your driveway, singing hiding you. I'm a cruise control. And if they're saying that we're crazy, well, hey, you never know. Oh, there's them hula girls. You never. You never. You never know. You never. I say you never. You never know. You never know.
It's illegal to buy a drink in New York City after 4 in the morning, but it's not impossible. The After Hours joint is a dirty little crossroads where it ain't unusual for a current rag designer to find himself draining the lizard next to some guy who bought a Humvee with the profits from a 24/7 pipeline for pharmaceutical dilaudid. A little clash of culture. But in this particular joint, on that particular night, the cops planned a little surprise in honor of Joe Citizen. I was chatting up this spicy little candied yam from Trinidad and Tobago. The music was pulsing. The place was loud. The girl was hot. And I says, "Have you ever been outlined in ice?" And she looks back at me with eyes like a knife fighter and says, "Louder, I can't hear you." So I elaborate my flirting in a stage voice I only use for stuff like, "Hello, Cleveland." And funnily enough, that was the exact moment that Smokey yanks the power on the music machine, leaving me the only voice like a E.F. Hutton commercial in a silent room, rampant with Boy Scouts, and I'm bellowing, "And watch it melt all over your fine onion." All eyes was on me when this one cop with a crazy grin says, "Oh, they're gonna love you in jail." Welcome to Dave TV.
Cool. Bonnet, let's just flat wake up out there. Let's get ready. We're going to start off the first record here. Let's see now. Wait a minute here. We're going to play the first record for, let's see, for Demi, for Perry, for JV, for Bernice, for Vera.
ようこそ Dave TV へ。世界で最初のグラフィカルラジオプログラムをインターネットを通じてお送りします。
Bienvenido a Dave TV, la primer radiotransmisión gráfica completamente internacional.
Добро пожаловать на Dave TV. Первая полноценная интернациональная графическая радиотрансмиссия.
Welcome to Dave TV. Just you, me, and about 7.5 million of our closest friends. Dave TV, never before in your life have you ever felt so filthy, so ashamed, so completely alive.
Bienvenue à Dave TV, la première transmission radiographique complètement internationale.
دیو تیوی اولین ترانسمیشن حقیقاً بین‌المللی بعد از پامل اندرسون پرطرفدارترین برنامه اینترنت در دنیا.
Nobody's gonna break our stride. All the way around the world is the size of our step. I went over to the lady at the counter and asked her for a round-trip ticket. She asked me, where to? I told her, to here. Yeah, that's right. I got on an airplane the other day. Speaking about going around the world, I flew from New York to L.A. with the supermodel, Naomi Campbell. That's right, yeah. We weren't sitting together. Same airplane, and same airport and everything. Anyway, Dave TV, for everybody who doesn't speak English as a first language, like those of us who attended public schools here in America. I'm a true fashion emergency. I still lust for the days when your pants couldn't be too tight and your shirt couldn't be too flammable. I used to think that formal wear was anything less than the Kiss concert. Hey, what about that Kiss reunion? What about the Van Halen reunion? Didn't last quite as long as the Kiss reunion, but longer than the last 3 Tyson fights combined, so I figure if you shoplift the CD like I usually do, you come out ahead. Voices scream. broadcasting from South Beach, Miami in Florida this time, and when you look out the window of the recording studio, you can see a whole lot of high fashion vibe up and down the street. I know a lot of you are probably wondering how I would even recognize that, but I figure two things, and I forget both of them right now. That's what fashion models do to me. And how is it that The Gap has never used Lauren Hutton for their advertisements? I mean, this is a big year in fashion. The skirts are shorter, the hems are higher, the blouses are rubber, and that's just the menswear.
Dave TV 僕たちがこのプログラムをできるのはもちろん君たちを愛しているからだ。
Bop began with jazz, but one afternoon somewhere on a sidewalk, maybe 1939, 1940, Dizzy Gillespie or Charlie Parker or Thelonious Monk was walking down past a men's clothing store on 42nd Street of South Main in LA, and from the loudspeaker they suddenly heard a wild, impossible mistake in jazz that could only have been heard inside their own imaginary head. And that is a new art, bop. The name derives from an accident. America was named after an Italian explorer, not after an Indian king. Lionel Hampton had made a record called Hey Baba Rebop, and everybody yelled it, and it was when Lionel would jump in the audience and wail his saxophone at everybody with sweat claps, jumping fools in the aisles, the drummer vastly booming and belaboring on the stage as the whole theater rocked. Sung by Helen Humes, it was a popular record and sold many copies around 1945 or 46. First everyone looked around, then it happened. Bop happened. The bird flew in. Minds went in. On the streets, thousands of new type hepcats in red shirts and some goatees and strange queer-looking cowboys from the West with boots and belts. And the girls began to disappear from the street somehow. You no longer saw, as in the 30s, the Wrangler walking with his doll in the honky-tonk. Now he was alone. Rebop, bop, came into being because the girls were leaving the guys and going off to be middle-class models or something. And Dizzy or Charlie or Thelonious was walking down the street, heard a noise, a sound, half Lester Young, half raw rainy fog that has that chest-shivering excitement of shack or track or empty lot, the sudden vast tiger head on the wood fence, rainy no-school Saturday morning dump yards. Hey! And rushed off dancing. On the piano that night, Thelonious introduced the wooden off-key note to everybody's warm-up notes. Minton's Playhouse, evening starts. Jam hours later, 10 p.m. Colored bar and hotel next door. One or two white visitors, some from Colombia, some from nowhere, some from ships, some from Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, some from Europe. The strange note makes the trumpeter of the band lift an eyebrow. Dizzy is surprised for the first time that day. He puts the trumpet to lips and blows a wet blur. Hee-hee-ha, laughs Charlie Parker, bending down to slap his ankle. He puts his alto to his mouth and says, "Didn't I tell you?" with jazz of notes. Talking eloquent like great poets of foreign languages, singing in foreign countries with lyres by seas. And no one understands because the language isn't alive in the land yet. Bop is the language from America's inevitable Africa.
أهلا وسهلا بكم في تلفزيون ديف تي في.
I'm all alone, sitting here waiting for your voice on the phone. Fever turns to cold, cold sweat, thinking about days we ain't done yet. Tell me now, I gotta know, do you feel the same? Do you just light up at the mention of my
quiz yesterday. How to tell if you live alone. I flunked.
Just can't fight it when a thing is meant to be.
And now that I all got you listening, I got 2 words for you. Wonder Jock.
Oh, baby, ain't nothing new. That's just love sneaking up on you. If your whole world is shaking, baby, feel like I do. That's just love sneaking up on you. Hey.
A toast, an old Russian toast. May you all die in bed at the age of 123, shot to death at the hands of a jealous lover. I propose a toast. Yours truly, David Lee, right here on Dave TV. All Dave, all night. We know what you need right here on Dave TV.
Them done bad. Them just go left you, man. Boy, you see, on a big thing. Run the rhythm, my selector, Dave. They want chat on a big thing. Mitchell us gonna tell them about this thing.
Dave TV, we only do this because we love you. हम आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं Dave TV.
If your girl leave you, I don't know. Yeah, I'm telling you, Dave. No big thing, no worry about it. Yeah. Just live life and enjoy the thing. Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Can't see the soul, a single hole in my pocket. Lord, I've tried. Yeah, money talks, I should know. Mine always says goodbye. And I know that money can't buy love. I park my speedboat next to some. This jungle, this bad boy suffer raw. Yes, I am. Price of an education. Now I know it's no big deal.
See a nice thing.
No big thing.
If it's a cool something.
Time for these blue hills to be wandering towards those burning sands. A genetical testimony that white boys simply cannot dance.
Yeah, man.
Can't let that little stuff trip you up. I take the fattest chance. And now I got the answer to a question no one asked. So here's 2 rules I got for you. Great ones for living under. First, don't sweat the little shit. Second is there ain't no other. Tattoo stars and music bars. And all the rich have ever proven is they are to life what American man stand is to the theory of evolution. Price of an education. Please now I know it's no big deal. No big thing.
It might be nice thing.
It's the aggravation. It all adds up to no big thing.
I know what you say.
No big thing.
No big thing.
Stamps in my passport. Now they're Polaroids and drinking stories. And I got some good ones now. It's getting harder to ignore me. Now I'm believing. Have the reason. Just believing is coming home. What you see and what you do and what you done. I've been lounging on the Riviera couch that is. When you're surfing 40 footers, you don't need no trace. Future's looking brighter every bit that I put in me. Even this I have to say with absolute uncertainty. Too much exasperation. Please now I know it's no big thing.
You don't know what name though.
No big thing.
I don't know big thing. Right?
Rise up an education. Please now I know it's no big thing.
Come here, thing.
No big thing.
If it's a cool something. No big thing where you girl argue with. Circle or just cool big back shot head.
The only thing more popular than kids in the United States is dogs? I've been living in the inner city recently, and we're broadcasting from inner city, aren't we, BP? We're on the perimeter. That's where I've always lived, man. Spiritually, physically, sexually. More about that later. But hey, I was talking to somebody about dogs in the city just recently, and they said, oh, what a terrible existence for an animal. I said, no. If you live in the suburbs and you got a dog, what? You put it out in the morning, you bring it in at night, you feed it, and then it goes back outside, man. I had a girlfriend who used to do that with me.
No big thing when y'all argue with them. Circle or just cool, big back shot in them.
They finally tore the old schoolhouse down, forever gone, my history. Yeah, what used to be. And now when I go driving by that point where I used to go to school, I'm pointing at an A and B. All I'm leaving when it's time to go is my old blue jeans and old brass and old teaching turn. All those secret things I've learned, and all I learned from history. And careful how you take it, it's recognize the same mistake every time you milk it. Price of an education, now I know it's no big deal.
Must be us.
No big deal.
Now the T-body dumpling on the bottom thing.
It's the aggravation.
You think,
it all adds up to no big
deal. The fire eye the king.
As an intellectual vibration, smack dab in the middle of spectrum, green can be a problem. That's because there's so many different greens inside of green, and each one has a different IQ. There's the green that should never have happened, the stupid green. The green that is green with envy. Then there's the so-so green, the who cares anyway green. But somewhere in green is a green here and there that has something to say. A truly intelligent green. A green with some integrity. That's the kind of green for you and me. There's a green to be seen with. Vivid, vibrant, living alive. We should spend the better part of our time, yours and mine, with a green like this. Maybe some of it would rub off.
Welcome to Dave TV, the first completely international graphic radio transmission. Transmission.
Give me a hoe if you got your funky bus fare. There's a double Dutch bus coming down the street, moving dirty fast, so kinda shuffle your feet. Get on the bus, pay your fare, then tell the driver that you're going to a double Dutch affair. 3-5-4, well I'll be darned. Here it comes, the double Dutch bus is on the street. You better get off the curb, move your feet. Bus fare, trans pass, that's the way my money lasts. Ain't got no car to get around. When I go to work, I gotta go downtown. Now I miss my train, that's a darn shame. When I'm running late, no sleeps to blame. If you got a wife, you know I'm right. You got a special man, well I can understand. Uptown, downtown, everybody's getting down. Say uptown.
you see, all you cats I know heard about Vasco da Gama, the island bumper. He's a cat that had a big fat publicity agency. What I mean is say, Vasco da Gama Bump Island #1, boom, put in the book. Vasco da Gama Bump Island #2, boom, put in the book. You see what I mean? He was with it all the way, publicity style, but there was a cat jumping around that time that had some bad press. It cut this polecat to shreds. And his name was Cabeza de Vaca. He was a warrior stud for Ferdinand I, and Ferdinand I was a balling king. He was a king that liked to ball up a breeze and put on many a double gala swinging-headed Mardi Gras. He liked the ball all the time. He's one of them kind of cats that say, "Give Princess Lager do another castle. Will you right away?" I say, "We ain't got no more castles, your majesty." He said, "Well, build one. Don't stand there like an idiot. What's the matter with you?" Consequently, the cat was short of change, and you see what I mean? And he said, I had to send over a little expedition to the New World, knock up a little bullion. And like I explained, Cabeza de Vaca was a war instead of first lieutenant for Ferdinand, and he had a bad scam in front because he got on a 3-ship lick, and they had a square captain that ran into a short tilt and blew the whole gig on the beach in Florida in 1410. And Florida in 1410 was Crocodile City. A cat couldn't stomp, flip, or step anyway. Them crocodiles snap here and snap there. And them poor cats ducking and dodging them crocodiles and trying to get straight. And every bug in the jungle is hitchhiking a ride on these poor cats. And the mosquitoes is dive bombing these poor cats. And there was a Cabeza de Vaca and his buddy cat and them all the parrot. And the parrot had the best lick because he had that feather coat, you know, and them other poor studs didn't even have a Union oil map. So they had to stomp on down the beach, and Cabeza de Vaca's buddy cat didn't move fast enough, and the crocodile snapped him out, and they had to tuck him in a hole and sweep some sand over his wig and swoop the scene. Because they didn't know where they was going, but they know they had to go, because they know where they wasn't it. So Cabeza de Vaca stomped all the way to North Dakota. That sure the cat didn't know where they was going in the first place. Then he turned around and stomped all the way to Mexico City. When he got down to Mexico City, he sat down and he wailed a note on Ferdinand I to hit the cat that he's still gigging for him and where he'd been doing all this here time. Only took him 8 years, little Sunday afternoon groove. He said, "Your most royal swinging majesty, I've been on a lot of sad tours. I've been on a lot of mad beat, bent up, downgrading excursions. I've been on a lot of tilted picnics and a lot of double unhung parties." He said, "I suffered from pavement rash. I've been bent, twisted, spent, de-gigged, flipped, trapped, and babapped." But he said, "I never was so drunk in my whole life like I was with this here last gig you put me on." He said, "It was rough. It was rough." And the gasser, in his note to Ferdinand I, said to him at the end of the note, "Your most royal swinging highness, I found out on this bad lick that there is a great power within, that when it is used in beauty and unselfishness and clarity of devotion to love, can heal and cure and cause miracles." Cabeza de Vaca, 1410.
You've been experiencing Dave TV.
Put some in your hand. That old boy Amos Member right down, man. It hits the spot, a tall glass of good old champagne, Velvet.
You're experiencing Dave TV. You're experiencing Dave TV.
Oh, I'm making my way back home. At least that's what I told her on the phone. Been a while since I made her smile, and I know she's gonna dig my style. Could she enjoy it? Really enjoy getting it on.
buffer of the road. Do she still have her fighting gear? Just one look, it's gonna make it clear. She would enjoy it, really enjoy getting it on.
You've been making a most delicate connection with Dave TV. We have no respect because we know you've got no limits.
Let me hear you say enjoy me, really enjoy getting it on.
Dave TV – единственная настоящая интернациональная трансмиссия. Самая популярная интернациональная программа со времен Памелы Андерсон.
You've made a direct connection with Dave TV, the single greatest unifying spiritual factor in the entire known universe since Pamela Anderson. Dave TV, we get no funding, we get no endorsement money, we get no sponsorship, we get no allocations, we get no stipends, and we get no respect. Just like you. That's why we're gonna get along so well.